from the beautiful Treasure Coast of Florida. You're watching HamRadioConcepts.
Hey everyone, this is Eric, KJ4YZI. I have the video of the Yaesu FT1DR System Fusion handheld. And this is going to be a two-part little video here. I'm going to make a quick video of what it comes with, what it looks like, a couple of features that interest me. And then part two will be when they get the Fusion repeater finalized up there, or down there in Vero Beach by my house. And it's up, it's just waiting for the Fusion to be hooked up, and then I can show you an on-air demo. So I'm going to give you an idea about this, and then I also have my 50th anniversary ICOM ID51 D-Star handheld. And a lot of people are saying, well, should I go Fusion, should I go D-Star? Well, I'm just going to kind of give you a brief overview of both and compare the two, and we'll see. So I bought this at gigaparts.com, and here's my invoice here. $310.64. All right. So right off the bat, that's cheaper than what I paid for the ICOM ID51. So let me go through here real quick. Now you'll see on the front, the sticker says heavy duty package included 1800 milliamp FNB 102 Li. This is the high capacity battery. The stock one is a 1100, and I think they make a 2200 milliamp an hour battery, which is bigger. But the 1800 gives you quite a long run time. Inside the box here, and I've already opened this, played around with it, and unpacked it, but I put it back in there just to show you what it comes with, and you won't see my warranty card. I already sent that off for warranty. So manual, 150 pages. It's hefty. You want to read this, grab a cigar and a beer or something, sit down, read the manual, get all the features familiarized, because this is a complex radio, and got a lot of features to learn. And like every other Yaesu handheld, I've had from the VX5R, 6R, 7R, 8R, 8GR, 8DR. I've had them all. You had to buy an optional quick start nifty guide for 15 bucks or 30 bucks, whatever it was, to get you rolling, so you can get on the air before you learned all the features. So they come with a little thing here, which is pretty cool. So it gets you, entering your call sign or your name into the radio, the volume and stuff like that, just to get quick tips to get you on the radio before. It's not a bow phone. You can't just turn it on and type in a frequency. I mean, I guess you could, but by the time you set all the tones and stuff, it's going to be a little. It's not totally impossible. So if you're a newcomer, don't be afraid. All right. So the radio. Take this out here real quick, and then we'll get right to it. So this is the FT1D, and this reminds me of when I had my VX8GR. It's kind of the same feel. It's got the GPS in the top, and a little bit wider, a little bit bigger than the VX8GR. That's what I'm comparing it to. The battery here, this is your high capacity battery. Now this radio is IP5X, water resistant, not really waterproof submersible, but it does have a nice seal on the battery when you click it together. It's got a little nice seal, okay? And overall size here compared to my ICOM, it's a little bit wider and a little bit thicker, all right? Probably because of the optional external battery here. External battery. The high capacity battery makes it a little bit fatter, but overall, you'll notice this one here has the DTMF keypad as well as some other buttons you can access functions with in the front. The ICOM is a little more menu driven. Both of them are menu driven to great reaches, but this one has a little more functionality on the front, which I like. All right. Your belt clip, of course, goes on the battery. All right, you know how to do that. This is your this little plastic thing here is an SD card remover for the SD card inside. It's kind of hard to get it out of there unless you have this, so make sure you don't throw that away. The regular wall wart charger, they make a rapid charger for it, drop-in charger. This is just a standard charger, standard antenna that comes with it. I'll go ahead and put this on if I can get it out of the package. This is a SMA male antenna and an SMA female connector up top. So your ICOM antenna will fit, but your Bofeng will not. So very easy to find antennas for this. I recommend an aftermarket antenna. They like to say the the people out there on QRZ and everywhere else, including myself, like to say the stock antenna is nothing more than a radiating dummy load. Yaesu tries to make a good stock antenna, but it's never as good as a Diamond or a Comet. And one thing under here, now this is what interests me a lot, because this is also what makes the radio a lot cheaper to invest in. If I can get this in there, get that out of the way. It comes with a programming cable, and the software is available online, free, okay, from the Yaesu website, PC connection cable. So you can program your memories into here, also update the firmware with the cable. Now let me show you what I bought out with my ICOM. I had to purchase this, the RT Systems cloning and programming software for the ICOM. So not a negative, but that's what makes this radio a lot more inexpensive than the ICOM. I like how I can just take it out of the box and program this without, some people may forget the programming cable. Some people may not want it, but it's a complex radio. You might want this. Okay, it's not that easy to program stuff into it. It's easy enough, but yeah. So we'll just leave it at that. So on the right, your speaker mic here connects, and why I'm showing you this is because they make a optional accessory, which is a speaker mic for Fusion with a camera built into it. So you can take pictures out and about, save them to your micro SD card, and send them to a radio like the FTM400 with the screen on the front, or the FT2DR, the successor to this. You can actually send pictures to it. So that's what the SD card, micro SD card, would be used for: saving pictures, saving additional memories, updating firmware, and GPS tracks and logs, so you can see where you've been and where you're going, or where you have been. Export this to a computer. Charging port, data jack, and PTT button, monitor button, volume, and power. Your volume button, okay, which is on the quick start guide, is not just right here. This is your selection knob. The volume, you have to hold the volume button and then turn this. So this function knob acts as a change of memories, scrolling through letters when you're entering your text messages or call sign, okay, and then you can hold the button and it becomes your volume. So we'll turn this on, try to get through a few things. Now you'll see there was a couple, I'll show you again, 2 call signs. This radio with the -7, this radio has a full-fledged APRS integration on board. So you have your analog FM, your digital FM, and your APRS. A lot of people still like APRS. I use it all the time. And you can beacon your position and where you're at. So that's much like my old VX8GR with the built-in GPS. The DR had the DR and the R had the clunky GPS on top, and this one's kind of more integrated with the GPS and stuff. So anyways, let me turn this radio off here. Hold on. Go back up here. Okay. Alright, so memory mode. Memory, let's see, how did I get to that? I know what I did. Function. Okay, there we go. So, 2 independent receivers, you can receive 2 things at the same time: VHF, VHF, UHF, UHF, or VHF and UHF. You could also do what I just did and run dual. I keep doing that. Function 6. Now I can listen to broadcast radio, okay? Broadcast FM radio. And then I can monitor 2 other bands or 2 other frequencies here for dual receive. So if somebody comes on here, it's going to mute the FM broadcast and put it on here. As well as independent volume controls. If I'm on VFO-A, I can turn the volume down to 12. And on VFO-B, I can turn it up to 20. Now I can't do that with my ICOM. The ICOM is 1 volume for both receivers. Sometimes you just don't want the other one to be so loud because it's all busy all day, and the ICOM you can't independently change the volumes unless I'm missing something. So let's talk about Fusion for a minute. So the Fusion, this is the way a D-Star, well no, let's go like this. Digital, Fusion and D-Star use a 12.5 kilohertz slice, half of a traditional analog FM. FM analog is 25, so digital will be 12.5. Now the Yaesu Fusion uses that 12.5 for either data, voice, or you can split that. So now we can have half of a 12 kilohertz, half of 12.5 kilohertz would be what, 6.25? So you can have 6.25 voice and 6.25 data. Now you can transmit your GPS as well as your voice at the same time, much like D-Star. Or you can assign the whole 12.5 kilohertz bandwidth slice to just voice. So now it uses half of that 12.5 kilohertz for the voice and the other half for the error correction. So you get the clearest sounding digital you can with that C4 FM. The error correction rate is supposed to be very good. Or you can go straight digital, which is for transmitting large packets of data or large amounts of data fast at high speed. So now you can utilize that just for sending pictures. Okay, so you got the combination of three. And if you push the DX button here, you'll notice, go up to VFOA, push DX. Now you see this FM with the blinking. This is for the Fusion, because the Fusion is sort of like a hybrid system. If I'm setting this to auto detect here, if this was a Fusion repeater I'm on and someone keyed up on digital, this radio would switch on that VFOA to digital. Now I can talk to them on System Fusion. If they were on analog, it would switch to analog. So through the Fusion repeater, the DR1X, you can transmit and talk analog or digital, so you're not locked to something like D-Star where you have to have a D-Star handheld and then an analog handheld if you want to talk on, to two different people. Well, I mean, you can do analog on D-Star radios, but what I'm trying to say is you're not limited to only talking to digital, or how do I put this? If Joe Blow over here had a regular analog radio, he can't participate in digital at all. So that leaves him out of the D-Star totally. Well, he can get a Fusion and still talk to the people that have the digital Fusions because it'll switch them over to analog. So you're not missing out on conversation. It'll swap you back and forth. And then if you push D again, DX, now you're in digital mode. All right. And you push it again, you're in voice mode. And then you're in FM. So I leave it mostly in here, and it'll switch me between the Fusion analog or Fusion digital. So it's like a hybrid system. D-Star, once you're on D-Star, you're there. So if someone tries, you can't even key up an analog radio on a D-Star repeater, you just won't hear it. So that's a cool feature. And the way they utilize being able to have digital or analog or both makes it similar to D-Star as far as being able to talk and see, hey, I'm talking to Craig here, and K4CPJ is 13 miles north of me. I can see that while he's talking. So that's a cool thing too. And it'll show me the call sign of who I'm talking to. A couple features I like are, we'll start with the band scope here. So if I hit function, nope, that's not it, hold on. Still getting used to it. Okay, so we'll hold this down. Okay, that's not going to cooperate here. We have to be in, let's see. Okay, there we go. So there's a band scope now, and you'll see when you come, oh, that's in, I'm in the wrong band. Okay, so we'll go like this. We'll go to 220, and then we'll hit band. Or hold. Okay, now we're in a band scope. So if there was a station on 220, it would show me on the band scope here. In fact, we're going to go somewhere where there's some activity so you can see it. There we go. Okay, so you'll see I'm on 101.7 WCZR Talk Radio, and as I scroll this, I can see where all the stations are. There's 103.7 The Breeze, and then I think it's The Breeze. But it'll show you, if this was a ham band, it'll show you where the activity is. So if there's repeaters adjacent or a repeater close to you, you can go through and see people talking on there, see the activity on the band scope. This is also, and it's rather fast too. This is a FM broadcast, so it's not changing much, but if you go into the ham band and watch this, you'll see it's moving as people talk, or the station, goes quiet, you'll see the bars going up and down. So very cool to have a band scope. And we'll get out of here. We'll go back to the. I'll show you here. So we have. Let's start over again. Okay. 0.5 kilohertz to 999 megahertz, cellular blocked on the US bands, US models, but who listens to analog cellular anyways? So you can listen to shortwave radio stations on AM, you can listen to ham bands on AM, not sideband, but you can listen to AM radio stations, 1100. There's an internal bar antenna in here for better AM reception. It doesn't utilize the vertical antenna here on the top. You could also, of course, FM broadcast, but check this out. You can listen to CB, that's channel 19 there. If you wanted to listen, you can switch the mode to AM. And now you can listen to 27185, channel 19, going down the road listening to truckers. Or you can listen to 10 meter AM. I'm sorry. There you go. 10 meter AM. When the band opens up, I'm a big fan of 10 meter AM. I could actually listen to DX contacts on here on the AM receive. Pretty cool. You could also listen to 6 meter FM. There's a 6 meter calling frequency. There's also a 6 meter AM. If you didn't know that, you can go here. That's the 6 meter AM calling frequency. And you can listen to that also. You can't transmit. It'll say error. But you can listen there definitely. Aircraft AM, 108 to 134, I think it is, 131. It's AM aircraft. All right, so you got a wide band receive. My ICOM doesn't listen to half of that. I can't go down to shortwave or AM, or I can go to, I think, AM broadcast or AM aircraft, but I can't go to 800 megahertz and listen to FM signals for government systems or business band or whatever would have you. It's not trunking, but with 800 megahertz, you can listen to a lot of things up there that utilize the 800 megahertz band. So we got the Fusion, we have the dual receive, dual watch, dual volume, the GPS built inside, APRS on board, the automatic mode detection for Fusion, group monitor. Let me talk about group monitor here. Group monitor, GM button, is for a Fusion-based feature, and if you have digital contacts in there, like say you program 3 or 4 people that have a Fusion handheld or Fusion radio, you program them into there in the group monitor. Now as you're roaming about, it'll let you know automatically that 2 out of those 4 people are in communication range of your Fusion and how far away they are and which way they are. So hey, Craig is 10 miles north of me, and I could see in my group, the more people you put in a group, you can see whoever is available for contact. So that's pretty cool. That's kind of like the ARTS. Wires had, or Yaesu had a feature back in the day of, or they still have on radios, ARTS, Automatic Range Transponder System. And the ARTS would allow you to be alerted if somebody was in simplex communication range, and it would beep and let you know when you're out of range. So you can see, hey, for search and rescue, you can see who is available for transmission on simplex, who's close enough. And the group monitor for Fusion kind of does the same thing. And so I go into the menu here, and like I said, this is menu driven, so it is it takes a little bit of navigating to get used to. I'm still not used to this whole thing yet. Your APRS menu, call sign, you want to set your call sign. You have to set your call sign in here for the digital communications. All right, and you can set things like you can scan, of course. You can do your Wires X. Now, Wires X is the protocol for the Fusion, so that you can link to other gateways and talk across the world on Fusion. So that's similar to D-Star. You can not only talk locally, you can talk across the world, and the Wires is what that's for. All right. So there's the USB camera option. Okay, and that's, like I said, for taking pictures. And one thing I do like here on, if I can find it, is a password. I can set a password on here so that when I turn the radio on, it won't let me do anything unless I turn the password on or put in the password. Okay, so that's a cool feature. Date and time, of course, on here. And check this out, vibrator. And if you have a dirty mind, get it out of the gutter. The vibrator is could be used for your wife, but it is for if there's a alert or a message on here. Say you get an APRS message, you can set it to vibrate in your pocket. You can set it if anything goes off. If the repeater, someone keys up the repeater, it'll vibrate. So that's a feature I haven't had in a handheld. So that way, when you're in a noisy environment, say you're mowing grass or you're in a Hamfest, and you know how loud it gets in Hamfest, set the vibrator. So that way you know it. If someone's calling you, you know, if it's in your pocket. There's also an LED light on here. Pretty cool if you're out at the car and you can't see the keyhole for your keys, you can turn the light on. It's pretty bright. So a lot of cool features in here. A lot of them are basic functions: repeater shift, timeout timer, you know, home VFO to set your home channel, stuff like that. But there's also the additional features of the Fusion and stuff like that. So you can enter text messaging from either an APRS text message or an APRS. You can send emails over APRS. If you didn't know that, check out APRS. You can text message to another radio. You can send an email to an email server through WinLink, and you can send an email. You can send an email right from this radio, and there's ways of setting that up online. So APRS does have its uses. All right, and also the Fusion. You can send pictures. You can do all that. So an advanced handheld, and I'm looking forward to making part 2 here very soon. Hopefully by the time you watch this, I'll have part 2 on my channel. Subscribe and you'll get the alert when I send it out. And we'll show you the Fusion audio, and then I'm going to again compare it online with the D-Star. And there's a review coming up any second now of this, and give you the features of the Icon D-Star. And hopefully these videos will get you an idea of what you want to do and what you want to invest in. So overall, I'm happy with this so far, and look for part 2, and we'll get to the demo of the Fusion. This is KJ4YZI 73.